Welcome to the Pizza Party. I am the Pizza Guy DIY, encouraging you to do it yourself, fool around and find out, do something even if it's wrong, experiment and gain experience. Then repeat, experiment again, and gain more experience. Yay! Today, this is our third pizza in the Piezano pizza oven. You're going to like this. Well, I don't care if you liked it. I loved it. All right, stick around. I'm going to teach you how to change everything and ring in world peace. So that's my hook to the video. By the end of the video, we will have achieved world peace. Yep, because that's what the YouTube gurus and experts told me to do, is hook the viewer into believing that I'm going to deliver something of incredible value at the end of the video. All right, sure, yeah, no. Let's go. It's going to be a video, so the audio volume might change a little, and I'm going to try to warn you when it, changes back. So I'll try to be gentle. All right, here we go with the brand new Piezano 12-inch pizza oven. I got a cheap $3 pizza. In fact, I have, I believe, 4 of these, because what I want to do, and I've already done a test with 2 Jack's pizzas, and things up here seem to be a little inconsistent with regard to the thermostat settings of the top and bottom heat settings. But I don't find any value in being on camera for this, right? But I got my stage set up. I'm going to cook it. Well, I'm going to unpackage it, I'm going to cook it, and I'm going to put it on a cooling rack, and then I'm going to cut it up. And then I'm going to pull out a plate, and I'm going to eat it, and we'll see how it goes. But the goal is to do 4 videos, one at 400, top and bottom. Now with the Jack's pizzas, I didn't do these on camera. I think I just took a couple of still shots. But what ended up happening was that thing got to 650 degrees. And it wasn't cool. So I had to jack down. I kind of panicked, and I backed down the heat a lot, left the lid open. It cooled off a lot. And then I brought the lid back down, and it just didn't come back up. So I turned the heat up. So it's been a lot of monkeying around. And ultimately, here's the frozen pizza. I went on the internet and I looked at AI, and I asked them, hey, Piezano, frozen pizza. You're supposed to cook them frozen, not thawed. No, there's another video that says, hey, cook them thawed. So, you never know what you're going to get on the internet, right? And that's what I'm here to prove, at least to myself. If you don't care, then you don't care. Oh, sorry, my stinky trash bin is over there on the side. I've told you I got regular trash and recycle, and then when I have stuff that stinks, I throw it in the side. I throw it in the side bin so I can take it out on a daily basis. I don't like my kitchen to smell bad. Duh. Anyway, we're gonna crank this thing up to 400, and then I got the laser gun. I'm gonna test the pizza stone, and I'm gonna run this pizza at 400. Then I'm gonna crank this thing up to like the whole freaking 900. Throw a frozen pizza on there and see if it just instantly burns in 2 minutes. I am also going to set a timer for this. So, it's a whole lot of fool around and find out, right? Do it yourself, fool around and find out, do something, even if it's wrong. But what my goal is, hey, if I want to buy a cheap $3 pizza and throw it on here, how good is it? I mean, the Jack's, there wasn't enough sauce on it. There was no flavor to it at all. It wasn't good. Anyway, so I bumped it up in, I think maybe the Jack's, I actually also had 2 Supreme pizzas, and I tested them. It's another video. Previous video probably, if I remember to take pictures. But anyway, this is a Roma Supreme. It's $3. It's only like a 10-inch pizza. It'll fit on here easily. The Jack's was a theoretical 12-inch pizza. It fit on here easily, so maybe it was an 11-inch pizza, realistically. And then, of course, from here, I'm going to go from, like I said, 400, top and bottom. Check the temps, throw it on there, and let it roll. Time it. It should be less than 10 minutes. But then if I crank it up to 800, is it just going to burn to a crisp? I mean, okay, $3 is a pretty cheap gamble. But we'll see, right? The only way you're going to find out is to do it yourself, fool around, find out. And also, it depends on where I live. And my indoor kitchen temperature right now is 67 degrees. Well, maybe that applies more to making dough, right? Making pizza dough. Oh my God, yeah, that's been an adventure. Go try to figure out something solid. I haven't found anybody like rock solid to give me all the information from the get-go and be successful. So I'm going to try to do that for myself, my own 8-inch personal pan pizza, or personal pizza. We've discussed that at length in other videos, and let's get on with the show, right? Yeah, let's go. All right, so that was my first video segment in this video. I'm going to try to talk quietly because I just wanted to show you the instructions on the label for this pizza. Preheat the oven to 450. Remove the pizza from the wrapper, and then 8 to 12 minutes until the cheese is golden brown. Okay? They're saying cook it on the center rack of your oven, directly on the center rack, the wire rack in your oven and bake it for 8 to 12 minutes. Well, I'm putting it on a pizza stone inside a little clamshell device with electric heating units above and below, or heating elements above and below. So this is a little different, but let's carry on. We're going to have this as the frozen pizza. You can still see the cardboard underneath it. And then now we're going to start another video segment with a little bit different volume, so I don't want to blow your eardrums out. So just be aware. You might want to be at the ready. Let's go. All right, man. So here it is. I've had the lid up for a second, but I just wanted to show you, scanning around on the pizza stone, you can follow the shape of the stone, right? In the center, it's 569 because that's where that little U-turn, that little guy is. That U-turn electrode or whatever heating element. But on the outside, now it's cooling off rapidly because I have the lid open. But yeah, I'm just showing you what we're dealing with. Now I'm gonna close the lid again and let this preheat at 400, top and bottom, for 10 minutes, and it came out super, way above 400, right? Does 400 and 400 equal 800? Yes. But did this machine heat up to 800? No. So there's clearly a discrepancy. You have to run the bottom at about probably 50% of what you're trying to achieve, and maybe the top at 50% of what you're trying to achieve. So if I wanted to cook this frozen pizza, which, that's basically what it says, 400 degrees or 425 for 8 minutes or whatever. I actually have I have the directions in a different picture, but the text is too damn small to read, so I have to look at that on my big screen on my computer. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, you're going to have to fool around and find out. You're going to have to do it yourself, fool around and find out, do something even if it's wrong, because that's how you gain experience. And with this little crappy thin crust Roma $3 pizza, which has almost no ingredients, look how almost invisible the cheese is, dude. I mean, that ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like the pizzas I've been making. But, this is an education. This is an experiment. This is an experiment and experience. So I'm going to leave this lid closed for another couple of minutes. It's already been 2 minutes. Oh, you can't see that. It's on my recording screen. But it's been 2 minutes since I lifted the lid and shot the gun and checked the temps. But all I want to do now is get it to return to where it was. It's still at 400 top, 400 bottom, right? Top, bottom, 400, 400, 400, 400. Okay? But that stone is going to be like 600 in the middle and 550 all the way around the edges. All right, well, it might do completely fine. And if so, I can conclude this. Oh, but wait, there's more. You're going to have to watch the next video to find that one. I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve, dude. I'm already learning how to manipulate this machine. You're going to like this. Anyway, fool around and find out. Let's see how this goes and where this goes. In fact, why break? It's been a full 3 minutes now since I first shot the gun, lifted the lid, shot the gun. Okay? In the middle, 608. On the edges, 597, 489, 502. You can see it on the screen. Oh, shit, maybe you can't because my aim was off. Right? So around the outside. Dude, I had this set at 400. I would expect this cavity to be no more than 400, top and bottom. 400 plus 400 does not equal. But are we looking at, is this, I'm going to close that again. Try to let it build back up. But are we looking at, what is it called? An average? Are we looking at a median? Because I guess median and average are substantially different than one another. It's been a long time since I've been in math class, bro. But, there's, oh God, how does that go? It's from that movie, Pee Wee Herman. I'm a rebel daddy. Yeah, that's it. I'm a rebel daddy. I don't do math anymore. I use AI. Or I use a calculator. Come on, man. It's been so long. For me, anyway. I'm 61, bro. It's been 40 years since I've been in school. Over that. Longer than that, I guess. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to let this continue to reheat itself to the 400, 600 in the middle, or whatever the hell the gun said a minute ago. I'm going to give it another minute to keep heating up, and then I'm going to pick this sucker up and throw it on there. Now, a little caveat, this guy's been sitting on the countertop for 10 minutes while it preheated, and then another 6 minutes while I talked about, oh shit, 400 and 400 equals 600 in this machine. So, I know I'm all over the map, but I hope you're picking up what I'm throwing down because I want you to understand. What I'm trying to do is encourage you to do it yourself, fool around, find out, gain some experience by doing something, even if it's wrong. I'm going to throw this pie on here. and we're going to see where it goes. You know, the instructions said 400 and 400, or it said 400. The Piezano doesn't have instructions. You know what? Maybe I just didn't read the recipe book. But that's coming up in another, and it's really hard for me to stay on a straight line, dude. I'm telling you. But yeah, the booklet that came with the Piezano doesn't address frozen pizzas that I'm aware of, but it does talk about, or it does give recipes for 11-inch pizzas. So I bought an 11-inch pizza screen and an 11-inch pizza pan so that I can build my pizzas and then get them off here, or off onto the thing. So I'm about to pull out those wooden paddles and place this pizza. Let's go. All right, there it is. And like I said, I pulled out the pizza paddles and I launched it onto the pizza stone. And wow, launching a frozen pizza is ridiculously simple. So if you just want to crank out $3 or $4 pizzas, as is, it can't be simpler. You know, you just set it and forget it, and stop fussing with things. I had a guy leave a comment on one of my earlier videos, and he's like, "Hey, cut the small talk. Nobody cares. Get on with it," or something to that effect, right? So of course I checked his channel, and there's not a single video whatsoever, right? I've got 30. Suck it. Here comes another video segment, and I just want to warn you so the volume can be, adjusted as needed, but I'm trying to talk kind of quiet and match the level of the video, so here we go. All right, so I set the timer for 5 minutes, and then I want to rotate this. If you notice, I've got my handle at the far left so that I can rotate this without raising the lid. I want to maintain the heat, right? So I'm going to just grab these handles and rotate this after I hit 5 minutes. And you can see we're getting a little color, we're getting a little action in the middle. And of course, the stone is hot, and who knows what this crust is doing, because I don't want to lift the lid and take a peek. This thing releases heat remarkably fast. But anyway, a couple more minutes, and then we're going to rotate, and that's it. All right, so I'm starting to actually smell burned pizza, and that's just, it's only been like 4.5 minutes or 4 minutes. The timer's about to go off. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this, and that's not enough. You can see the electrode has really colored a good portion of the pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop this up and rotate. All right, so I gave it a good rotate, and kind of want to get a little more centered. And actually, you know what I want to do? Can you hear the beep, 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 beep? Yeah, I know. Okay. And let's take a look. Oh, look at the leopards. Okay, because the bottom of this crust must have been all kinds of wrinkly, or all kinds of, spotted. But there you go. We're going to close the lid. We want just a little more color on this edge. So I'm only going to set the timer for like 1 minute. Okay, here we are 1 minute later, and it's looking freaking done, bro. Very, very done. The bottom's perfect with the little checkerboard, but that's because the dough was dimpled, right? Oh no, get out of there. Almost had a tragedy. All right, so I got to grab these pizza paddle things and put it on the cooling rack, and then we'll get back at it. All right, hang on. There you go. See? I scooped it up. These pizza paddles are remarkably easy to use. And there we go. Boom. Boom. 439. Now, the lid was standing open while we transferred this pizza. Let's have a look at the pizza. The pizza is 203 degrees. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. 0. Whoops, I turned one up to 800. It's weird. Both knobs work in opposite directions. Well, both knobs work in the same direction, but you turn this to 200, and you can't turn this the same direction. Okay, so that's some weirdness. You'll get used to it. Do it yourself. Fool around, find out. Do something that's wrong. You gain from the experience, right? So if I want to go to 200, right on this knob, I turned it to the right, to 200. But this one, boom. If I turn it 400, 400. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Okay, well, we'll have to edit that out because I'm an idiot. Or maybe I won't edit it out because I'm honest. There you go, bitch. I'm impressed. I gotta say, I am impressed so far. I'm gonna go ahead and lift the lid. I want the stone to cool down so that I can put this thing away. And got the ceiling fan running to cool the kitchen when I heat things up in here, even though it's the dead of winter and the house is only 67 degrees. You can see we got a Blackstone. We got a deep fryer from the outdoor Blackstone. And behind this, we got the regular deep fryer, which is I think 2 liter. Really, really cool stuff we got in the kitchen here. Check out Kitchen Guy DIY. Go to troysweb.com and you will find links to all of my YouTube channels. And right now, we're just waiting for this guy to cool off enough that I can cut it and eat it. I guess I forgot to mention in my previous videos with this Piezano
And Jack's Pizza, I took the Jack's, I cooked one. It was okay. Remarkably cracker thin crust, right? Crispy, crispy, crispy. But not very good because it just didn't have enough cheese and sausage on the thing. But I wasn't trying to augment a frozen pizza. I wanted to do a test, a bare bones test, so that I can eventually come to understand how to make my own dough at the thickness I want, which might not be like South Shore Chicago style thin or Chicago Tavern thin, cracker crust thin. You know, you got to find your own path, dude. You got to do your own thing. You got to do it yourself, fool around and find out, do something even if it's wrong, and learn by your experiences. And that's what I'm trying to do here. By using this machine, I've gone through a couple permutations already. I am going to do another experiment coming up next. But what I did with that Jack's Pizza, I did the first one, and it was okay. Then I did the second one, and I added giardiniera, dude. That became Tavern Pizza. That was a game changer. Now here, I'm just gonna probably cut this in half, and I'll probably throw dry parm, crushed red peppers, and giardiniera on half of this because now I've become stick a needle in my arm. Yeah, I'm going back to the old days. I'm back to where I started in Chicago, walking from the walking from the job site to the train station, and stopping at the tavern, grabbing a beer and a pizza with my coworkers, and then poof, we're gone. We don't have any boxes. We aren't carrying home a slice out of a $30 pizza that we ordered and couldn't finish because that's what tavern pizza is about. Stop in, grab a pizza, eat the whole damn thing, have a couple of beers, see you later. Anyway, speaking of see you later, I'm going to wrap this up for now. There might be some additional photos and comments when I edit this video, but for now, that's the Roma pizza on here at 400. It's got a great looking bottom. Don't all the girls have a great
Everyone
bottom.
loves a great looking bottom.
Freaking frock, bro. That's pretty slick. Now, I can pick this up. I can pick this whole thing up. Look at that. It's got a stiffy, dude. Oh, that's crazy. Well, but I haven't had frozen pizza for a very, very long time. When I make my own, I wonder if mine will stand up like this without a blue pill. All right, everything's party here. Everything's fun and games. Don't take me seriously. Of course you don't. But in time, I am going to get serious about banging out the 8-inch foundation pizza dough. Turns into my pizza crust, which is the foundation for Old Faithful, which is a pepperoni and cheese pizza. Or I'm really leaning towards Foundation 2, just calling it Foundation 2 because, come on, man, keep it simple. And that's sausage and mushroom. So there's been a lot of fun. I'm having fun. I don't know if you're having fun, but if you're not, well, then you're not watching. You've already clicked off. Bye-bye. Hopefully you'll hit that like button. Maybe visit troysweb.com. Maybe hit that subscribe button, or maybe hit that donate button, and help me buy the next pizza oven, which I actually have 3 queued up as I'm saving my pennies, dude. Do I want just the 14-inch version of this? I don't know yet. I don't think so. I want to skip into like the really good one, but oh my god, Tiffany, look at her butt. No, it's remarkably expensive, and that's the thing about the pizza ovens. Really, when you take the cost of a pizza oven and you divide it by, well, gee, how much would it cost me to have a pizza like this delivered to my house? $15 or $20. How many pizzas can you buy for that $1,000 pizza oven? Oh, quite a few. But, you might not be a single dude. You might be trying to feed a family of 4, etc. So it makes sense to buy the oven, cook your own, especially if it's a weekly tradition type thing and it becomes a family tradition. Then it's invaluable. And there are certain pizza ovens that I think facilitate that. So anyway, that's all content, or that's all, commentary for future videos. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this thing off the... Why not? Try to do it one-handed. Okay. Ta-da. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the paddles, there's the cooling rack, there's the cutting board, and here's the pizza cutter. And you're going to see some camera wobbling all over the place, or I'm just going to set it down. Oh! I forgot the tavern cut. Damn it. I cut triangles instead of the tavern cut. All right, so we knew the whole pizza stood out there by itself. We don't need to wonder, is this going to stand out there by itself? I'm going to have a bite. Bro, for a $3 pizza, and a $100 pizza oven, I'm sold. I'm in love. And I'm not even a sponsor, or they're not a sponsor, right? Here I am drinking and swearing and partying and having fun. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever get any sponsors. But that's why I have a donation button on my website, troysweb.com. I did all the math, dude. If I could get 1,000 people give me $1 a month, that's 12 grand a year, but you lose 45.5% in taxes, buy your own health care, credit card processing fees, platform fees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it works out to $1 a month times 1,000 people will be 12,000 donations, right? $12,000. $1 a month, 1,000 people, 12,000 a year, minus 50% in taxes and fees. You get $6,000. That works out to about $550 a month, I think, and then it breaks down to like $135 a week, $135 a week. Bro, I would be giving this thing away. I would do the experiment. I'm like, I love this thing. It's great. And then I would have a raffle. And I would give one of these away. And then the pizza oven, I'm not going to reveal it yet because I want you to subscribe, like, comment, and all that crap that YouTube requires you to do. And maybe I'll buy that specific pizza oven with those specific features that will make a specific family tradition of, if that's your thing, pizza every Friday, well, your mom can, or the mom, and somebody in the household, maybe it's a dad, maybe it's the ambitious, teenager, can bang out a pizza, and everybody can have a great time at a family dinner every Friday night. It's pizza night, pizza party time, and hopefully I'll see you again on the next video. And in the meantime, dude, I can't believe this was so good. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to put jardiniere, crushed red pepper, and dry parm on this because that's a true Chicago-style pizza. Or tavern-style, Chicago-style. Chicago tavern, what the hell? Chicago-style tavern, thin crust tavern pizza. But on top of that, now I've learned South Shore is a unique variety of Chicago thin crust tavern pizza that you only get when you go down to the South Shore, because mainstream central Chicago, apparently their tavern pizzas are different. We'll find out and talk about that in future videos, because pizza history to me is fascinating and nobody does it better than Chicago, bitches. So see you next time. For now, I'm going to check out, but I'm also going to augment this and eat, and I'll probably continue to add to this video. So, all right, even though I said shh, I'm out. I ain't out yet. All right, as I said, I added a little salt, a little parm, a little crushed red pepper. Coming up is the hot jardinera, and we're going to taste that. Yeah, baby.
That was outstanding, wasn't it? Yes, it was. All right, Pizza Guy DIY, here is yet another piece of video.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this. Now that I put the jardinera, it's got a lot of oil in it. The oil is dissolving that parm, blending all the hotness from the crushed red peppers in there with a touch of salt. Oh baby, we're gonna enjoy this, I guarantee. Oh no, my cheese stuck a little bit. Let's see. Wow. For a frozen pizza, augmented marginally here, this should have had a tiny bit more cheese, and I would have been the happiest camper in the world. But man, the memories come flooding back of hanging out with, this guy, that guy, the other guy that I used to work with. Clearly, I'm not going to name names. And you stop at a place where you get jardiniere and some dry parm and a pizza, and you're in heaven. Man, one of the main places I can think of and call out by name would be Falco's. But there's 10 other places that are just down the street from where we work, right? In the Hancock Center, that's up on the north side by the Gold Coast. And then you got over by the Union Station, Sears Tower. That place is surrounded by cheap parking lots if you walk far enough, and loaded with a bunch of bars along the way. And then, of course, it has 311 Whackers right there next to over by the Merchandise Mart, there's tons of different places. Blah, 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 blah. Chicago thin style, dude, even though this is a frozen freaking pizza. Wow.
Yeah, watching this back.
That was fantastic. This is my new favorite toy. Wow. That was good. I'm going to eat.
That's it. I'm going to eat. I guess I quit right there. Oh, man. That was super awesome. Here is your typical original Chicago-style hot jardiniere. This Marconi brand is available at Walmart. You might want to try the mild or just the standard garden variety kind. I think, honestly, maybe it does come in mild, medium, and hot, or something like that. But anyway, I hope you will subscribe to the channel. Click like on this video because I hope you liked the video. Share this with your friends. You can send that paper airplane link to people on YouTube, Facebook. I'm sorry, email, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Bye. Leave a positive comment. Thanks. Bye.